People don't just like Wuhu Island. They want to live there. But why? It's not real. It's just shapes and colors on a screen. Yet somehow it sits in your mind like a place you've actually been, and a place you want to go back to. But that wasn't an accident. Nintendo designed it that way on purpose. The volcano on the horizon, the lighthouse standing watch, the little town you know by heart. Every detail placed with intention. So how do you turn a fictional map into a place people feel nostalgic for? And why does your brain fall for it? That's the secret we're about to unpack. And by the end, you'll understand why leaving Wuhu Island feels less like putting down a game, and more like leaving home. Wuhu Island didn't actually start with Wii Sports Resort. It first appeared during Wii Sports development in 2006 as a simple airplane demo shown at E3, just a blank island floating in the ocean. Later, a stripped-down version was reused in Wii Fit as Wii Fit Island, still more backdrop than place. Developers thought it looked lonely, even lifeless. So when Nintendo started designing Wii Sports Resort in 2008, they made a bold decision. Instead of building a world around the games, let's build the games around a world. Producer Katsuya Eguchi believed players would grow more attached to the sports if the island itself felt like a real place. Shigeru Miyamoto agreed. In an Iwata Asks interview, he said, "We polished up the island, turned it into a resort, and actually made the location into a kind of character." So the mission changed. They weren't just making table tennis or archery. They were crafting a place you'd want to return to, even after you turned off the console. The first step was giving the island an identity. What once showed up in early demos as the plain Wii Fit Island was renamed Wuhu Island and rebuilt piece by piece to feel like a living town, not just a sports arena. Miyamoto pushed the team to think less like level designers and more like city planners. He said players should feel like they were coming back to the same town over and over again, not teleported between random menus. So they added districts, a small seaside village, a quiet lake, ruined temples, wind turbines on a hill, a castle tucked near the woods. Suddenly, the island wasn't just big, it was varied, like a real vacation spot. Then came the key move. They placed the volcano directly in the center of the island, on purpose, so your brain would always have a North Star to orient around. Miyamoto explained, "Symbols and landmarks make it a lot easier to pinpoint your location, so we went all out and created a huge volcano." That's a real-world design principle called imageability. The idea that our brains attach to places with strong landmarks, edges, and nodes. It's the same trick that makes Paris, with its Eiffel Tower and riverside layout, so easy to picture even if you've never been. Nintendo applied that thinking to Wuhu, hoping your brain would start mapping it like a real place, not a level. But Nintendo knew, just building a beautiful island isn't the same thing as players actually remembering it. So they created a sneaky tool called Island Flyover. On the surface, it looks like a relaxing bonus mode, but it's actually a guided geography lesson disguised as a game. You fly over volcanoes, beaches, ruins, cliffs, collecting eye points that pop up with little sound cues and tiny descriptions. Volcano at dawn, mysterious ruins at night, seaside village in the afternoon. It's the same spot, shown at different times of day, which means your brain starts storing multiple emotional versions of the same place. Morning, evening, night. That's not just variety. It's episodic encoding. Psychologists use that term to describe how memories get layered when familiar things are experienced under different conditions. The more often your brain revisits a location, in different moods, light, and context, the more it starts believing, "I've been here." Nintendo wasn't just letting you fly for fun. They were training your memory, so that one day you'd be able to picture Wuhu Island even with your eyes closed. Now that you could recognize Wuhu visually, Nintendo wanted you to feel like you belonged there. Their solution: fill the island with your own face. Instead of starring Mario or Link, the resort experience is built around Miis, your me, your friends' Miis, even family members you created. You're not controlling a character. You are the one sword fighting on the dock. You are biking up the mountain roads. Your people are cheering from the stands. This wasn't decorative. It was intentional. By centering the game on Miis, Nintendo tapped into relatedness. One of the three core needs in self-determination theory, the psychology of human motivation. When you see yourself and people you know inside an environment, it becomes less like a level and more like your neighborhood. Even better, all 12 sports in Wii Sports Resort aren't separate maps. They're scattered across one continuous world. Archery in the forest, cycling around the coastline, swordplay on the town pier, basketball by the plaza. So every win, loss, memory, and moment gets pinned to a different corner of the same island. That's exactly how real places get etched into our hearts, street by street, memory by memory. After spending hours on Wuhu Island, something strange starts to happen. You can close your eyes and trace the coast. You know where the bridge is. You remember how the light looked when the sun dropped behind the volcano. That's not just nostalgia. That's your brain forming place attachment. Psychologists say once you've had enough positive, varied personal experiences tied to a single environment, your brain logs it as home. Wuhu Island hits every ingredient, landmarks that make it easy to map. Repeated exposure across morning, evening, and night. Personal avatars and crowds that make you feel included. Activities scattered across one connected world, giving you memories in every corner. Nintendo didn't just design a game. They designed a place your brain quietly decided to belong to. So maybe that's why all these years later, whenever we hear that old resort soundtrack, we don't just think that was a fun game. We think, I want to go back.